From the depths of war-torn lands to the heart of a health crisis and the persistent struggle against poverty, religion plays a pivotal role, both as a beacon of hope and a catalyst for conflict. This exploration reveals how beliefs and doctrines, preached from ancient texts and modern pulpits alike, not only shape individual lives, but also weave the complex tapestry of our world's most daunting challenges. Join us as we uncover the hidden dynamics of faith at the crossroads of humanity's greatest trials. Disease X is characterized by the World Health Organization as a potential severe international epidemic, potentially emerging from a yet-to-be-identified pathogen. This hypothetical scenario underscores the vulnerability of global health systems and the necessity for preparedness in the face of unknown threats. However, the discourse surrounding such scenarios is frequently mired in political strategies and tactics, leading to a clouding of the actual issues at hand. The propagation of fear becomes an all too common consequence, particularly when the true nature of control mechanisms and underlying realities remain obscured from public understanding. Amidst this landscape, topics like war, disease, and financial instability loom large in the public consciousness. Nonetheless, these daunting issues, while significant, may not represent the most substantial threats humanity faces. There is a growing need to recognize and address more profound, often overlooked challenges that have far-reaching implications for the future of global societies. These challenges encompass not just the immediate impact of potential health crises like Disease X, but also the broader implications of how societies respond to, prepare for, and ultimately navigate such existential threats. The focus must extend beyond the sensational and immediate, delving into the deeper, systemic issues that shape our world and its future. The role of religion in shaping global conflicts and misunderstandings is a critical, yet often underappreciated factor in international relations. The complexity of religion's impact on global affairs is frequently obscured or misrepresented, yet its influence is undeniable and far-reaching. This is particularly evident in areas like the Middle East, where the interplay of religious beliefs and political agendas is especially intricate. In the Middle East, for instance, what may initially appear as secular or politically driven conflicts are often deeply rooted in religious disparities. The region is a mosaic of faiths, predominantly featuring Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. These religions, each with its own rich history and doctrine, frequently find themselves intertwined in disputes, each upholding their beliefs as the ultimate truth. This often leads to a lack of understanding and empathy between the adherents of these religions, fueling ongoing tensions. The conflict between Israel and Palestine serves as a prime example of how religious beliefs can be interwoven with political and territorial disputes. Jerusalem, a city sacred to all three religions, becomes a focal point of contention, with each group claiming historical and spiritual ties to the city. The differing interpretations of religious texts and historical narratives contribute to a complex and emotionally charged conflict that extends beyond mere territorial disputes. Similarly, the broader sectarian conflict between Sunni and Shia Muslims, which spans several countries in the Middle East, is another instance where religious differences underpin political and military struggles. These sectarian divides have historical roots, but have evolved into modern-day political power struggles, often manipulated by regional and global powers for strategic gains. Furthermore, the role of religious extremism and its impact on global security cannot be overlooked. Extremist groups, often claiming a religious foundation, have been responsible for numerous acts of terrorism and violence. These groups exploit religious texts and doctrines to justify their actions, contributing to widespread misunderstandings and stereotypes about certain religions. It's important to note, however, that while religion can be a source of conflict, it also has the potential to be a powerful force for peace and reconciliation. Many religious leaders and organizations are engaged in interfaith dialogue and peace-building efforts, working to bridge gaps and promote mutual understanding among different faith communities. The intricate relationship between religion, politics, and conflict is a pivotal aspect of global affairs. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for resolving conflicts and promoting peace in regions where religious beliefs are deeply interwoven with social and political issues. It requires a nuanced approach that respects the diversity of religious traditions while addressing the underlying causes of conflict and misunderstanding. The evolution of Christianity over the centuries is a testament to how religious beliefs and practices can be shaped by cultural, historical, and doctrinal influences. This evolution has led to a form of Christianity today that, while rooted in its original teachings, also reflects various adaptations and interpretations that have occurred over time. One of the significant influences on Christianity has been the doctrines and practices of the Roman Catholic Church. As one of the earliest and most influential branches of Christianity, the Catholic Church has played a pivotal role in defining and shaping Christian doctrine and practice. This includes the establishment of sacraments, the veneration of saints, and the concept of papal authority. These elements, while central to Catholic belief, differ significantly from the early Christian practices, which were simpler and more focused on the teachings of Jesus as recorded in the New Testament. Additionally, the Renaissance period brought about a profound reimagining of religious art and philosophy. This era, characterized by a renewed interest in classical antiquity and humanism, led to a transformation in the way religious themes were portrayed in art. Renaissance artists infused religious subjects with a newfound emphasis on human emotion, realism, and beauty. This not only changed the aesthetic of Christian art, but also influenced the way people perceived and related to religious stories and figures. The humanization of biblical characters in art could sometimes blur the line between sacred narrative and human interpretation. Furthermore, the Protestant Reformation, initiated by figures like Martin Luther and John Calvin, was a major turning point in Christian history. It challenged many of the doctrines and practices of the Catholic Church and led to the creation of numerous Protestant denominations, each with its own interpretations of Christian theology and scripture. This fragmentation meant that Christianity was no longer a monolithic faith, but a diverse array of beliefs and practices. In contemporary times, Christianity continues to evolve, influenced by modern theological thought, social changes, and cultural trends. This evolution has led to a wide spectrum of beliefs and practices within Christianity, ranging from conservative to liberal interpretations of scripture and doctrine. The result is a faith that, while unified by its core belief in Jesus Christ, is diverse in its expressions and understandings. This diversity within Christianity, though enriching, has also led to misconceptions and debates over what constitutes true Christian belief and practice. The challenge for modern Christians is to navigate these differences, seeking a faith that is faithful to the core teachings of Jesus, while also being relevant and responsive to the contemporary world. This requires a careful balance between tradition and innovation, orthodoxy and adaptation, fostering a Christianity that is both deeply rooted and dynamically evolving. The portrayal and understanding of the Messiah in Christianity is a compelling example of how religious interpretations can evolve and diverge from their origins over time. The name Yahusha, as it is known in Hebrew, represents one of the most profound aspects of this evolution. In the transition from Hebrew to Greek to Latin, and then to other languages, the name of the Messiah transformed, most commonly known today as Jesus. This linguistic evolution is symbolic of broader changes in the perception and representation of the Messiah within Christian thought. Over the centuries, Christianity, as a global faith, has experienced significant doctrinal and theological shifts. These changes are not just in the interpretation of the Messiah's name, but also in the understanding of his teachings and role. The early Christian community, closely tied to its Jewish roots, had a different understanding of the Messiah's mission and teachings compared to how it is perceived in various Christian denominations today. Over time, influences such as the cultural contexts of different societies, theological debates, and historical events have shaped the way Jesus' message is understood and practiced. This divergence from the original teachings attributed to Jesus has profound implications for spiritual seekers within Christianity. It raises questions about the essence of faith, the interpretation of scriptures, and the nature of the relationship between believers and the divine. For those seeking spiritual enlightenment and a deeper connection with the divine, navigating these varied interpretations becomes a significant part of their faith journey. Moreover, the phenomenon of religious division and misinterpretation is not unique to Christianity. It is a common thread that runs through all major faiths, each grappling with its own set of doctrinal divergences and interpretative challenges. In Islam, for example, there are different sects with varying interpretations of the Quran and Hadith. Similarly, in Buddhism, a multitude of traditions and schools of thought interpret the Buddha's teachings differently. Addressing these challenges is crucial for fostering a deeper, more authentic spiritual growth and understanding. The objective is not to cast aspersions on any faith tradition, but to highlight the importance of introspection and personal spiritual development. Engaging in deeper inquiry and seeking understanding beyond established doctrines and interpretations is vital. This approach encourages individuals to explore the core teachings and values at the heart of their faith, which often focus on themes of love, compassion, and unity. In a world marked by religious diversity, the pursuit of truth and understanding in one's faith is essential. It calls for a respectful dialogue among different faith traditions, learning from each other, and finding common ground. By focusing on the fundamental teachings and values that unite rather than divide, believers across various religions can contribute to a more harmonious and understanding global community.